Hey everybody, thanks for joining in again. This is part 3 of building our new columns. What we'll be doing today is building a column wall, and what you'll need for that is your standard tape measure, steel tape, something to write on, and something to write with. In addition to that, you'll need a circle saw and a table saw. The table saw is not needed, but it makes the job a lot easier. You can do it with just a circle saw. What we'll do is label these bottom 2x4s 1, 2, 3, 4, just so we keep track. So we'll write 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll take our piece that we're writing on, and we'll start with number 1. First thing you want to do is measure this top. It is 8 1/8. We'll write that down. Alright, next up we'll measure this bottom piece, and we'll go outside this groove to outside this groove on this side. And it's like 14 3/8. We'll write down 14 3/8 on the strap piece. Next, what we'll do is measure from the top of this board to the inside of this groove. And you want to do that on the center line mark. It's like 43.5. And we'll write that down, and then we'll go around to the table saw and mark it all out. And what we're doing now, as you can see, we have this edge here that is not straight. That was just a rough cut to have it cut down to where I could use the table saw in our next step. In this step, we need to work off a square edge. So what we'll do, we'll pull off the non-cut side to whatever dimension it is, and make it mark. 34 is where we'll make it. We'll pull down here, 34, make a mark, and draw straight lines so we have a square edge to work off of. At our scrap wood, and I'm going to work off this 14 3/8, which would be the bottom portion of our column. So we'll measure 14 3/8 from the square edge that I made. We got our dimension at the bottom half of the board. I'll come to the top half of the board and once again mark my 14 3/8. I'm taking an inch, so it'll be 15 3/8. The reason why I do that is because when I measure the 43.5 up, I want to measure to this line, and when I measure up, I don't want the chance or the possibility for my tape measure to be at an angle. I want it to be true and straight. And if I got a 14 3/8 there and a 14 3/8 here off the cut line, then I know my tape measure will be equal. And now I'll draw a straight line for the top of the board, which is 43.5. Just take a pencil and make a mark. Now we know that from the bottom edge to here is 43.5. It's square. Just take the 14 3/8 that was on the bottom. We'll split that in half to find our center line point. And then we'll take the top measurement, split that in half, and go to either side of that measurement and make a mark. That will give us our trapezoid at the top, where it'll be center line square with center line square at the bottom. Okay, we're trying to find center line of 14 3/8. what we have is 7 is half of 14. And then what we'll do, we'll subtract 1/3, 1/3, which would put you here. And in between those would be 3/16. And that would be where we would want to make the center line of 14 3/8. Okay, now that we have the center line of 14 3/8, our top measurement was 8 1/8. 4 1/16. And we'll mark a crow's foot on each side of that. And that's our distance at the top. Hey guys, from that last little section of the video, you can see I make a blooper. When I measured my top, I measured to the inside. When I came to my top of my trapezoid, that was the inside measurement. I should have added a ½ inch on both sides to accommodate for the outside 45s. And we'll go down to the bottom and set up a straight edge. We'll have at one edge of our 14 3/8 come up to this side. We'll have our 0 come up to this mark. And that'll give us our trapezoid, first wall of a column. Do the same to the other side. And now we got our trapezoid, and I'll take another straight line a few inches beyond my trapezoid and bring it up to here just so I have a smaller piece to work with on my table saw. Instead of having a crook line to come off of next time, I'm taking 1 inch from a 14 3/8 because we know that's square off of this line, and just setting the rule 1 inch beyond that, so next time I shouldn't have to make a square line. It will already be square. What I'm going to do with my circular saw is cut in between my square line and in between my trapezoid line. So now that we have our trapezoid, a more manageable piece, we'll get the table saw all set up and cut it out. What I'm doing is I'm going to raise the table saw up to where it's above the thickness of my plywood. I'm going to turn the saw to where it's at a 45-degree angle. Start back here. Try to get that where the blade is coming up on this cut line, because we're doing the outside measurements and this is our outside of our board. Got a 45-degree angle, and now we'll flip the board over this way and cut this thing. Now we have both our 45s cut, and we'll cut off our height. And I'll do that by turning the blade back to 90. Now we'll take and measure the next 3 column walls and get this cut out. We got all our measurements now. We'll go mark them out. Okay, we got 3 boards cut. Let's go back to the front and see what they look like. While I marked out these boards, I took and labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, which we already had one up, and that way we know exactly where our measurements go versus where each board goes. Might need to take this one back off and trim a little bit off the top. There we go. If we were going to leave them a wood color, we could just leave them like this, but we're going to paint them white. So we'll disassemble these column walls, the other column walls, and painting everything. We'll be doing that on the next video. We'll be using a Harbor Freight cheap $9 spray gun, Lowe's white paint, and a little cobalt air compressor, and it should turn out real nice. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe for the following video. Thank you.